שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. שבת אחים גם יחד.
Shabbat Shalom and welcome everyone to our service this evening, Shabbat Shelach Lecha. A Shabbat which has as a title, as a theme, send forth for yourself. So I hope that the energy we have here in this synagogue will be sent out to all of you and comes back to us. And we greet each and every one of you in front of your screens, in your living rooms, in your kitchens. If you have the chance to be still outside, even if it is a little bit cold here in South Africa, enjoy it and enjoy the service. We open our service with the blessing for the candles by Janice Jordan. And if you want to follow us, we have an online edition of our Siddur, which is available as a flip book. The link here too is just below in the banner. And please enjoy. We are on page 118 for the blessing of the candles.
Even the smallest point of radiance can dispel darkness. In the words of our sages, a candle to one is a candle to many. Altogether, all of our Shabbat candles join together in creating a brilliant blaze, creating peace in the world. And together, we help make peace in the world. So let us together God and remember, Shamor v'Zachor. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. Shabbat Shalom.
לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה לאדוני. לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה לאדוני. נריע נריע לצור אישנו, נקדמה פניו בתודה. נריע נריע לצור אישנו, בזמירות נריע לו. לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה לאדוני. לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה לאדוני. שירו לאדוני, שירו שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ. שירו לאדוני, שירו שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ. שירו לאדוני ברכו שמו, פזרו מיום ליום ישועתו. שירו לאדוני ברכו שמו, פזרו מיום ליום ישועתו.
Thank you to Janice Jordan and to Doron and Glynis for opening the door to Shabbat to us. The psalmist says, Sing to God a new song, for you have worked wonders. Your right hand, your holy arm have won your victory. Eternal One, you have shown your victory, displayed your justice in the sight of the nations. You were mindful of your love and faithfulness towards the house of Israel. All the ends of the earth beheld the victory of our God. And this is, of course, a vision for a messianic time, and we hope that this Shabbat gives us a glimpse of this idea of a messianic time when the world is in peace, when we can leave all the worries we have behind us and just rest for a moment and enjoying the creation of the eternal, so that we can rise a shout to God, all the earth, and break into joyous songs of praise.
Zamru l'Adonai bechinor, 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 v'kol zimra, b'chatzotzrot v'kol shofar, shofar, hariu lifnei hamelech Adonai. Zamru l'Adonai bechinor, 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 v'kol zimra, b'chatzotzrot v'kol shofar, shofar, hariu lifnei hamelech Adonai. Yiram hayam omlo, tevel v'yoshvei ba, neharot yimchau chaf yachad, harim yeranenu, lifnei Adonai kiva kiva, yishpot haaretz, yishpot tevel b'tzedek, ve'ami b'meisharim. Yiram hayam omlo, tevel v'yoshvei ba, neharot yimchau chaf yachad, harim yeranenu. La 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 l'chad oti, la 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 l'ikrat kala, la 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 pnei Shabbat, pnei Shabbat nekabelam, shamon vezachor. לך אותי. לה 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 לקראת כלה. לה 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 פני שבת. פני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה. כי מקור הברכה מראש מקדם נסוכה. סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. לי 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 לה 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 לקראת אותי. לה 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 לקראת כלה. לה 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 פני שבת. פני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי האורך קומי אורי. אורי אורי שדברי. כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. לי 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 לה 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 לקראת אותי. לה 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 לקראת כלה. לה 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 פני שבת. פני שבת נקבלה. בואי בשלום עטרת בעלה. גם בשמחה ובצולה. תוך אמונה עם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה. לי 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 לה 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 לקראת אותי. לה 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 לקראת כלה. לה 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 פני שבת. פני שבת נקבלה. מזמור שיר ליום השבת. טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון. מזמור שיר ליום השבת. מזמור שיר ליום השבת.
The righteous bloom like a date palm. They thrive like a cedar in Lebanon, planted in the Eternal One's house. They flourish in our God's courts. In old age, they still produce fruit. They are full of sap and freshness, attesting that God is upright, my rock, in whom there is no wrong.
We continue with the Chatzi Kaddish, which you can find on page 144. And I invite you, if you're at home, to rise as we now call formally for the prayer for this moment when we enter the sphere of the Shema and then follow very quickly into the Amidah. So now we are standing still in front of the palace of the Eternal, but we have already the handle in our hands. Open the doors with the Chatzi Kaddish, the praise of the Eternal, this wonderful moment when we speak of the glory of the Eternal, followed by the Baruch Hu on page 146. And we continue our service on page 148 with the first blessing, the blessing which reminds us of the creation. And perhaps which is very important in this understanding is that we are co-creators, we are partners with God in creation. And that is why we also need Shabbat, that we can just pause in a moment in reinventing and recreating ourselves and the world around us, so that we can pause, sit down and really enjoy the creation around us. On page 148, the blessing Ma'arif Aravim. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam, Asher bidbaro ma'ariv aravim, b'chokhma poteach she'arim, u'vitbuna meshane itim u'machaliv et hazmanim. U'mesader et hakochavim b'mishmochoteim barakir kirtzono borei yom v'layla goel or mipnei choshech v'choshech mipnei or. ומעביר יום ומביא לילה ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה אדוני צבאות שמו, אל חי וקיים, תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד.
ברוך אתה אדוני, המעריף ערבים.
אהבת עולם, בית ישראל, עמך אהבת, עמך אהבת, תורה ומצוות, חוקים ומשפטים, אותנו לימדת, על כן אדוני אלוהינו בשופטנו ובקומנו נשיח בחוקיך, ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד, כי הם חיינו ויורך ימינו, ובהם נגי יומם ולילה, נגי יומם ולילה, ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל.
Our next Bar Mitzvah, Ross Raven, is now taking us into the room of the Shema. We're on page 152 for the Shema, followed then with the second reading of the Shema, You shall love your eternal one, the Ve'ahavta, and then the paragraph of the Tzitzit. So it all is in this holy room of the Shema when we encounter the closeness of God and we will bear witness to God's oneness.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha, u'b'chol meodecha. V'hayu ha'devarim ha'ele, asher anochi metzavacha hayom al levavecha. V'shinamtam levanecha v'dibarta bam. V'shivtecha b'veitecha, u'v'lechtecha v'derech. U'v'shofbecha uv'kumecha. Ukashartam leot al yadecha, v'hayu letotafot beinenecha, ukatavtam al mezuzot beitecha, uvisharecha. Vayomer Adonai el Moshe lemor, Daber al bnei Yisrael v'amarta lehem, ve'asu lahem tzitzit, al kafei v'itehem לדורתם, ונתנו על ציצית הכנף בתיל תכלת, והיה לכם לציצית וריתם אותו, וזכרתם את כל מצוות אדוני, ועשיתם את כל מצוות, ולא תטורו אחרי לבבכם ואחרי עיניכם, אשר אתם זונים אחריהם, למען תזכרו, ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם, אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתכם.
Adonai Elohechem emet, emet ve'emuna kol zot v'kayam aleinu, ki hu Adonai Eloheinu ve'en zulato, v'anachnu
All this we hold to be true and trustworthy for us. You alone are our God, and we are Israel, your people. You are our sovereign and Savior, you who delivers us from oppressors' hands and saves us from tyrants' fists. You work wonders without number, marvels beyond count. You give us life and steady our footsteps. You performed miracles for us before Pharaoh, signs and wonders in the land of the Egyptians. You led your people Israel out from their midst to freedom for all time. When your children witnessed your dominance, they praised your name in gratitude, and they accepted your sovereignty. Moses, Miriam, and all Israel sang to you together, lifting their voices joyously.
מי כמוך בעלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה, מלכותך ראו בניך, פוקע הים לפני משה ומרים.
ונאמר, כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגואלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל. We continue on page 160 with one of the, I think, most beautiful prayers we have in an evening service, the Hashkivenu. It is a prayer in which we ask the Eternal to shield and shelter us beneath God's wings and to defend us against enemies, illness, war, famine, and sorrow. I think it is a prayer most appropriate for uncertain times, these times we are facing at the moment. So may the words of the Hashkivenu give us peace on this Shabbat evening.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Leshalom, Leshalom, Ve'amidenu Malkeinu Lechaim, Ufros Aleinu Sukkot Shlomecha, Ufros Aleinu Sukkot Shlomecha. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Leshalom, Leshalom, Ve'amidenu Malkeinu Lechaim, Ufros Aleinu Sukkot Shlomecha, Ufros Aleinu Sukkot Shlomecha. Amen.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. וביום השביעי
Prayer invites God's presence to suffuse our spirits, God's will to prevail in our lives. Prayer may not bring water to parched fields, nor mend a broken bridge, nor rebuild a broken city. But prayer can water an arid soul, mend a broken heart, and rebuild a weakened will. We're now opening our prayer books for the Amidah. We're on page 164 and the following pages. Please open your hearts and encounter the moment where we are close with the eternal, page 164 for the Amidah, the Tefillah.
Adonai sefatai tiftachu fi teilatecha. Adonai sefatai tiftachu fi teilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei Avoteinu ve'Elohei Imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak ve'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel ve'Elohei Leah. וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם למען שמו באהבה מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן ברוך אתה אדוני מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה.
אתה גיבור עולם אדוני, בחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע. משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מזריח השמש ומוריד הטל. מחכה חיים בחסד, בחיי הכל ברחמים רבים. צומח נופלים ברופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר, מחמור בעל גבורות, ומדום אליו, מלך ממיד ומחייך, ומצליח ישועה. ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקידושים בכל יום Hallelujah, Selah.
Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh.
You set aside the seventh day for your name, the pinnacle of creation, and you blessed it above all other days, more sacred than all festival times. So it is written in your Torah. ויחולו השמיים והארץ וכל צבאם, ויחל אלוהים ביום השביעי מלאכתו אשר עשה. וישפוט ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה. ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי ויקדש אותו, כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות. אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו, רצה במחתנו קדשנו במצוותיך ותן חלקנו בתורתך, זביענו מטובך ושמחנו בשועתך. ותהה ליבנו, ותהה ליבנו, ותהה ליבנו לעובדך באמת, ותהה ליבנו, ותהה ליבנו, ותהה ליבנו לעובדך באמת. ותהה ליבנו, ותהה ליבנו, ותהה ליבנו לעובדך באמת, ותהה ליבנו, ותהה ליבנו, ותהה ליבנו לעובדך באמת. והנפילנו אדוני אלוהינו באהבה וברצון שבת קודשך, ואנוכו בישראל מקדשי שמך. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת.
We acknowledge with thanks that you are our eternal God and the God of our ancestors forever. You are the rock of our lives and the shield of our salvation in every generation. Let us thank you and praise you for our lives which are in your hand, for our souls which are in your care, for your miracles that we experience every day, and for your wondrous deeds and favors at every time of day, evening, morning, and noon. O good one, whose mercy never ends, O compassionate one, whose kindness never fails, we forever put our hope in you.
ועל כולם יתברך ויתרומם שמך מלכנו תמיד לעולם ועד. וכל החיים יודוך סלע, יהללו את שמך באמת, האל ישועתנו ועזרתנו סלע. ברוך אתה אדוני, הטוב שמך ולך נאה להודות.
שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. כי אתה הוא מלך אדון לכל השלום. כי אתה הוא מלך אדון לכל השלום. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם לעולם. וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם לעולם. תשים לעולם, תשים לעולם.
We have a short moment for our private prayers. Chaverim, before I start with my words on this Shabbat, Shalach Lecha, I invited Mike Eliason to read for us a sacred calling, the calling once our ancestor Jacob heard in his dream, a calling and a promise of the land of Israel to all his descendants. So please listen carefully to the words of Mike, and I will explain in a short moment why we have chosen those words this evening.
And Jacob left Beersheba and set out for Haran. Coming upon a certain place, he passed the night there, for the sun was setting. Taking one of the stones of the place, he made it his head rest as he lay down in that place. He dreamt, and lo, a ladder was set on the ground, with its top reaching to heaven, and lo, angels of God, going up and coming down on it. And lo, the Eternal stood up above it, and said, I, the Eternal, am the God of your father Abraham, and God of Isaac. The land on which you are lying, I will give to you and to your descendants. And your descendants shall be like the dust of the earth, and you shall spread out to the west, and the east, and the north and south. Through you and your descendants, all the families of the earth shall find blessing. And here I am with you. I will watch over you wherever you go. I will bring you back to the soil. I will not let go of you as long as I have yet to do what I have promised you. Waking from his sleep, Jacob said, Truly the Eternal is in this place, and I did not know it. He was awestruck and said, How awe-inspiring is this place? This is none other than the house of God, and this is the gate of heaven.
Fast forward. Several hundred years later, the Israelites stand at the boundaries of the promised land. This is what we will read this week, or this Shabbat tomorrow morning, in our Torah reading, when Moses sent out scouts to see the promised land, the land that was promised to Jacob, the one who went with his sons down to Egypt, and now his great children are coming back to the promised land. It must have been very frightening. Here you have a group of newly freed slaves, people who have been accustomed to traveling away from their homes in Egypt, thrust into the wilderness, and then about to enter an alien land. The land Israel, with its big, strong people, an alien land, the land with fortified cities. We can imagine their awe, wonder and fear, sort of like what happens when you live in the suburbs or on the countryside and you go to the big city for the first time. It is overwhelming. Some just want to turn around and run home. That's what it must have been for the spies who go into the land of Egypt, land of Israel. Everything there is big. The cities, the fruit. It took 2 men to carry a cluster of grapes. And especially the people. The spies report that people of the land are giants, descendants of the Nephilim, a mystical tribe of giants. And then they say something quite telling. We look like grasshoppers to ourselves, and so we must have looked to them. What was wrong with what they just said? Rabbi Menachem Mendel of Kotsk, a great Hasidic teacher, taught, you are certainly permitted to say that you feel like a grasshopper in your own eyes. But what right do you have to imagine how you appear to someone else? To them, you might have appeared as angels. Whoever we are, however old we are, wherever we are in our lives, when we are overwhelmed, we tend to think little of ourselves and to imagine that other people think little of us as well. In fact, often that perception is simply wrong. Sometimes it's all a drama that we are playing out in our heads. Imagine if the Israelites had listened to the spies, They would have overthrown Moses and Aaron, headed back to Egypt, and either have become slaves once again or even been killed. The Torah would have been, at most, not quite 4 books long, if had even come to exist at all. The Israelites would have been like any number of almost forgotten ancient peoples. The spies were wrong to think of themselves as grasshoppers. Their lack of confidence and self-esteem, not to mention their lack of faith, could have grave consequences for the community. Our self-perception influences our own actions and the way others see us. Ironically, just a little later in Numbers, King Balak of Moab is terrified of the Israelites, the same that think they are grasshoppers. So, who was right, Balak or the spies? Why not go with a more encouraging perception? Maybe when others believe that we are strong and beautiful and talented, we will train ourselves to hear them. And maybe, just maybe, when someone else feels small and disempowered, we can help them to find their inner giants. This Sunday, meaning in less than 48 hours, Michelle and Mike Elison will make Aliyah to Israel, following the ancient call that once already moved our ancestors to leave their homes, to move to the new one. Both have served our congregation in many ways, in Mancom, in Kehila, and when Beit David called for volunteers. It is sad to see wonderful people leaving, but it fills our hearts with joy that they can follow their dreams. And with the following words, we send them our blessings on their way to the promised land. So we are here to say Shalom, goodbye to old friends. We don't know yet what future will bring, but we strive to remain hopeful in the face of the unknown. Also, we are sad to see Michelle and Mike leave South Africa for Israel. We know that they are not leaving our lives and that they will remain just a phone call or Instagram post or a Zoom session away. We are excited to see where the next steps will bring them. We pray that you both have the courage to face the challenging that lie ahead. May your anxieties be without foundations and your dreams be fulfilled. May you value the best that the country of your birth and upbringing has given you, and may you bring these gifts to your new home. May you make your own contributions to the land and the life of the Jewish people. Yivarechechem Adonai mitzion ure'eu betuv Yerushalayim kol yemei chayechem. May God bless you from Zion so that you can see the welfare of Jerusalem all the days of your lives. And so we say, unfortunately only through the medium of the stream, Facebook and YouTube, Lihitraot, but I am sure we will see us very soon back in one or the other way here at Beit David. This is a heavy moment for all of us, so perhaps sanctifying Shabbat with a Kiddush will give us a short moment to just let go and to remember the beautiful moments we had with Mike and Michelle here, knowing that we will have more wonderful moments to celebrate. The Kiddush is to be found on page 122, 123. And if you have a glass of wine, so please rise them also, whether Little L'chaim, then for Mike and Michelle. 122, 123. ויהי ערב ויבוקר יום השישי ויחולו השמיים והארץ וכל צבאם ויחל אלוהים ביום השביעי מלאכתו אשר עשה וישפוט ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי ויקדש אותו כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא פרי הגפן.
אמן.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר קידשנו במצוותיו ורצה בנו בשבת קודשו באהבה וברצון הנחילנו זיכרון למעשה וראשית כי הוא יום תהילה למקראי קודש זכר ליציאת מצרים כי באנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת.
אמן.
לחיים.
לחיים.
We continue with the Aleinu, which you can find in our Sidurim on page 586 in a wonderful rendition by our choir.
השמיים ויוסד הארץ ומושב יקרו בשמיים עמה ושכינתו זו בגובה מרומים הוא אלוהינו אין עוד אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו ככתוב בתורתו וידעת היום תשב אותה לבביך כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים עמם ועל הארץ מתחתיה עוד.
River with understanding, loved each of us for the peace we bring to others. May our deeds exceed our speech, and may we never lift up our hand but to conquer fear and doubt and despair.
Rise up like the sun, O God, over all humanity. Cause light to go forth over all the lands between the seas, and light up the universe with the joy of wholeness. of freedom and of peace.
V'nema v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom mahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo
We're thinking now of our loved ones, those have been the stepstones in our lives so that we can fulfill the destiny in our lives. We think on this Shabbat of Sonia Bergman, mother of Lola Groneman, Basil Benjamin, father of Sandy Mills, Madeleine Lolly Kling, aunt of Luz Kling and Amanda Douglas, Leslie van Flyman, sister of Jeff and Brian van Flyman, Sophie Meyerson, grandmother of Michelle Danin, Sandy Suko, mother of Brad Suko, Else Rothenberg, mother of Herman Rothenberg, Barney Sweek, father of Desmond Sweek, Michelle Bonin, husband of Aline Bonin, Ruth Bergman, mother of Leslie Bergman, David Levy, father of Shirley Cohen, Lorna Lewis Belling, mother of Sandra Bruns, Leslie Reichman, father of Michelle Klippen. We think of Harold Hassel, husband of Marion Hassel, Maurice Frank, father-in-law of Lucy Frank and grandfather of Haley and Tracy, Joseph Sief, father of Carol Kramer, Wolf Hirschfeld, father of Carla Feldman, Garth Souls, husband of Harleen and father of Cody Lee Souls, Sheila Friend, mother of Vivienne Bruns, Anna Grisak, remembered by the Grisak family. Remember Emmanuel Lyon Cohen, father of Doreen and David Cohen, Leonard Carlo, father of Dov Carlo, and Phyllis Berman, mother of Gary Berman. And of course we include the many deaths, the 425,000 that have passed away due to COVID-19, including the 1,500 people who died in South Africa because of COVID-19. If you have names you like to add, you want to be mentioned, or those you think of, please put them into the comment and the live chat of Facebook or WhatsApp and of YouTube, so that we can remember all of them. We're on page 595 for Yesh Kochavim, and follow then with the Kaddish.
Yesh Kochavim she'oram Yatsa Rak Hashem em atzmam avdu le'nam Yesh anashim she'ziv zichram meir kasher em atzmam einam od
Another name for the yahrzeit list. This is Professor Philip Tobias, remembered by Gil Saul. The Kaddish is to be found on page 598.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחיי יחון וביום יחון, ובחיי לכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעלם ולעלמי עלמיה, יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו. לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דאמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום. עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו אמן.
May their memory be for a blessing. Chaverim, we are at the end of our service, and before we hear one final song by our choir, by Doron and by Glynis, with a big thank you to the two of you for being here with us in this cold sanctuary.
Freezing cold.
Freezing cold. But we really like to thank all of you for being part of our community, for enabling us to do so through your very, very wonderful and encouraging words we have received in the past days and weeks. It feels still very, very right to be here in the sanctuary and to bring our home, our community home, to all of you in your homes. And we hope that we together will soon also have the chance to congregate together in person. We'd like to remind all of you that tomorrow's morning service will start at 10 o'clock, not 9:30, 10 o'clock here again from the sanctuary, and tomorrow in the afternoon at 1830, so 6:30 in the evening, we have Havdalah, a short ceremony by itself, but usually a very wonderful occasion to bring congregants together. This is via Zoom, and if you like, you can all dial in and meet your fellow congregants. And on Sunday we have our tea. As usual, this is another chance to just chat to congregants and to have a moment really to exchange news, but also to encourage each and every one of us to go through this very, very difficult time where we can't meet in person. With this, first to Doron and Glynis, and then we will bid farewell and see you tomorrow morning.
Shabbat Shalom.
Adon Olam Hashem halach b'terem kol yetzir nivra le'nasa b'chefta kol hazai melech shemo nikra ve'acharei yikmot hakol levado yimloch nora ve'hu see Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shalom Umvorach, Shabbat Shalom, Shalom Umvorach, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom.